Word. Let's go. Ooh, happy Tuesday. Let's write a book. Okay. Let's turn the music down. Alright. Kick is on. Twitch on. YouTube's on. Alright, we are good to go. Cool. Alright, thank you for watching the stream. Today we're writing a book, Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. I am Gabriel Rathwig, the author. Real quick, thank you yesterday to Fusium900. Thank you for following my channel. I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks to everybody following, watching, all the stuff. Let me turn the music down a little bit. There we go. Cool. Alright, today, real quick. Alright, today we are writing a book. We are writing a book called Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. It is the third book in a series I'm writing for a company called Athon Books. Might have heard of them. If not, definitely recommend checking them out if you like amazing novels, fun sci-fi, fantasy, romance, westerns, everything. They're pretty dope. Real quick, I don't watch the chat. I don't look at the YouTube. I don't look at the Twitch. I don't look at the stream while I'm writing. Messes up the flow of the story. So after I start the video, which I'm doing now, say hello, you know, I'll shut those and then won't look at them until the end, which is I'll open them back up, the Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and then I'll answer whatever questions and say hello and all those good things. Okay, with that being said, I'm closing the Twitch, closing the Kick, closing the YouTube, and now we are just writing a book. So what am I doing here? I am holding myself accountable by streaming. So what that means is I have a word count goal for my novel I'm writing, and that goal is 2,500 words. My task that I've given myself is to write 500 words per half hour. That means for 2,500 words, it should take me 2.5 hours. So by the time I start, it'll be like 10:45. I should be done by 1:15 at the latest. Lately, I've been getting done in about an hour and a half, hour 45, plus a few breaks, so under 2 hours. So today I'd like to be done before 1 o'clock. Before 12:40. Yeah, I'd like to be done before 12:40. I'd like to be done by 12:15. I'd like to be done by 12:15. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so currently I am at 88,067 words. So I am 88.067% done with my book. How do I know that? Well, all of my books are 100,000 words, and that gives me a 100,000% completion goal, so every 1,000 words is 100%. And right now, 80,067 is 80.067%, which means I have 11,900, wait, yeah, 11,933 words to go. At the end of the day, we'll be at 90,568. Yep. So at the end of the day, we'll be at 90566. 90565. Alright. What else? Think. Every Friday I do a recap for Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, books 1, 2, and 3, what's happened so far. So if you want to know about that, check the stream on the Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, 14th, 15th, 15th, 16th, 17th, yeah, 15th. I'll do another one this Friday, but I should be done with the book Friday. 2,500 words a day puts me at Saturday, but I think I'm going to increase the count tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday because I want to be done with it. And I got a podcast to do today at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard with my buddy Dominic from England, so I need to be done with this and doing that, so I can't really write long today. But cool thing is, if you set yourself a word count and you set yourself a percentage goal, you have a timeline that you know when you'll be finished with the book, as long as you keep to your writing goal. It doesn't have to be 2,500 words. It could be 500 words. It could be 1,000 words. It could be 150 words. You know, it could be let's keep it easy. Let's say it's 100 words. It'll take you 1,000 days to write a book, right? 100 plus 0, 0, yeah, 100,000 word book. What's that? Less than 3 years? Double that. That's a year and a half. Triple that. That's 3/4 of a year. So depending on what you do, you know, anybody can write a book. Now, they won't be good because we're all terrible when we start, but you know, if you want to write a book, write a fucking book, man. Nobody can tell you not to. Nobody can stop you from doing what you want to do, man. Or woman, or dudette, or thing, or that, or this, or whatever the fuck you are. Doesn't matter to me, man. Let me think. Writing tip. I give a writing tip, which was, I think that was a good tip. I just gave one, you know. Pick a goal. Set a percentage. Just do it, you know. And don't be so fucking self-absorbed. You're not that important. You're not that good. It's okay if your work sucks. You know, who cares? Don't be such a baby about it. I know it's hard. I can say that because you're like, oh, you're right. You said that. But yeah, I was like that, you know. It's hard being vulnerable. Get over yourself, man. Nobody cares. Shit, after the 5th or 6th comment on one of your books that calls you a piece of shit and that you should die and I hope you fucking, you know, don't wake up one day, and many other things, like, people are vitriol. It's ridiculous. You kind of like, whatever. Okay, so 10:43. We've been talking for 7 minutes 30 seconds. Last time on Mercenary, Reincarnated as a chef. What happened? What happened was they had launched an aerial assault with a kiteboard ultralight machination that Lou came up with, and all the non-flying people had one, and they flew into the inner ring and dropped bombs and magic and blew the shit up out of everything, killed all the monsters, and went to save the 2 manor houses that were under siege, Lord Vermillion's and Lord Cerulean's, and Lord Cerulean, Lord Vermilion, house was closer, and they went that one first. They weren't going to make it, so they all rushed in to stop the monsters, losing the buffs from the compound, the place, but they didn't care and they went in. Lou hung behind because he's pretty weak, and then received a message from Lady Cecilia that Lord Cerulean's manor was like about to fall, and he's like, fuck, I gotta go, and he goes, loses all his buffs, and he's about to go in there and fight. Yeah, so that's where we are. Let's write this book. Okay. Do a little bit of a read through and then we'll move on to the new stuff. Oh yeah, we're starting chapter 28 today. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So every chapter I do is about 6 pages. If you write an average page, about 5 to 600 words. So each chapter is between 3 and 3,600 words. Keep them all pretty uniform in length. People read at a cadence. Everybody does things in cadences and patterns and blah, 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 blah. Even if I was to talk with a voice like this as I was going and stopping and going, people would get used to that pattern. So, you know, think about that when you're writing. It's the same thing. People do it in their minds. He took a deep breath and calmed himself before clearing his mind and reevaluating the situation. If he looked at it logically, Blancafang, Diddy, Ragnar, and the others should be able to rescue Lord Vermilion and his people without Lou's help. They'd probably be better off without him. Yeah, that's right. I'm the strategist, the general. I'll sit back, keep an overview, and send a message or reinforcements if needed. Lou's breathing and pep talk and inner pep talk worked. He kept a lookout from high above and sailed his kiteboard right at the edges, right up to the edge of the place's magical range, and okay. The seconds ticked by and the monsters and the unease that had filled him at not being a part of the rescue attempt began to lessen. He saw the monsters. He saw monster after monster fall under his friends and allies' assault, even without the place's buffs and bonuses. As he was about to turn around to turn his kiteboard and head back home to start making lunch, a message came to him, followed by another, and then dozens more. He quickly accessed his HUD and read the first. Demon Rue, my father contacted me. Monsters have breached the walls and are in the manor. You were right. I'm sorry. Please help my family. Please, please, please. I'll do anything. Lady Cecilia's voice rang inside Lou's mind. She seemed to have repeatedly sent the message because each subsequent one said the same thing. He quickly contacted Lady Cecilia by sending a message of his own. Simple and succinct. It was always best to keep it simple, stupid, in high stress situations. Most people forget the human propensity to mess things up just by the virtue of how they react in a difficult and high pressure situation, like if one's life was on the line. Aw, snap. Simple and succinct. It was always best to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. In high stress situations. Most people forget the human propensity to mess things up just by reacting to a high pressure and challenging problem, such as if one's life were on the line, in the most retarded way possible. Yeah, I said it, fucking R word. Oh shit. Lou banked the kiteboard hard, barely keeping his balance as he did a mid-air 180 in half a second, then powered back up to full speed, before banking down toward the mayor's residence. The Count's residence. Sending messages to his companions the whole while, letting them know what he was planning. Hoping he wasn't committing suicide for no good reason, and knowing in the back of his mind that none of his companions would reach him before he reached the we'll just do the mayor and his people, yeah. Period. The mayoral residence was also an so there was no hope of succor from that quarter either. Lou would return to his usual weak, underpowered The mayoral residence was well outside the range of the magical buff range of the place, and would be for quite some time. So there was no hope of succor from that quarter either. Lou would be forced to return to his usual weak, underpowered human self. And not only that, he'd be on his own. A maniacal grin overtook his boyish face, and his pupils began to dilate like a cat or like a predator, like a predator, or like a hunter spotting its prey. It's about time. I haven't danced with Skeletor in a hot minute. Lou quipped Lou quipped in a husky voice, his demeanor shifting from that of a kind and open teenager to a darker, more sinister persona. One did not become a mercenary, or even more pointedly, an assassin. Poignantly, if one did not have a darker side. Lou had a darker side. A much darker side. It was so dark that it could be considered pitch black. Lou usually hid that side of himself away, even from himself. He tucked it away into the furthest recesses of the deepest corners of his subconscious mind. Ah, yeah, okay. Let's do the page break. Cool, cool. Chapter 28. Let's go. Okay. Think, what should we write? What should we write? What should we write? Right. What should we write? What should we write? What should we write? Let's think about it. All of his conscious thought, anything not pertaining to the fight that was about to, the struggle of life versus death that was about to happen, was thrown by the wayside. The only room Lou had in his thought process was for instincts and a specific kind of instinct. The killer kind. Oh, shit. It's not a bad paragraph, you know? His mind began to picture the next few minutes as his kiteboard sailed in silence, in unmolested through the dark sky over the inner circle. The only sounds were the only sound was the metronomic like whir of the fan of the human-sized fan blades spinning behind him and propelling him forward to either his doom or glory. Lou didn't particularly care which in his current state of mind. All of those thoughts were for a different version of him. The version that cared about things, about anything more than the taking of someone or something else's life that was trying to take his own. One own. Onwa. Here we go. The only sound, dun 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 dun. The only sound was the metronomic-like whir of the human-sized fan blades spinning behind him, propelling him forward to either his doom or glory. Lou didn't particularly care which. In his current state of mind, all those thoughts were for a different version of him. The version that cared about the world and those living in it. About this version of Lou, the current Lou, cared about nothing more than the taking of someone or something else's life that was trying to take his. Oh, trying to relieve him of his. Okay, not bad. Boom, boom, let's go. Think about. The speed of... Let me think, okay. Lou's kiteboard was not one to inspire jealousy in any other member of the aviation community. It did, however, perform the job of bringing Lou to his destination, albeit at a snail's pace. That would have bothered Lou if he was if it was 10 minutes earlier, but now he used the time, 5 minutes he guesstimated, to visualize and plan and prepare his weapons for the coming rescue attempt. Alright, closing it down. Gotta see something. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, it is working. Yep. Alright, cool. Okay, okay, okay. Let's go. While they're his people had bombarded the inner ring with magical and physical attacks that had destroyed many of the building structures and other buildings and other structures. They targeted that was over toward Vermilion Manor. Lou was crossing over virtually unmolested enemy territory. Ragnar and the other flying teams had cleared the airspace before their assault, but that didn't mean a monster hadn't slipped by or hidden themselves from them. Okay. Thinking what to write next. Here we go. Thinking about what to write next. Lou kept his head constantly on a swivel as he summoned and exchanged resources from his spatial storage with his magical virtual storefront, then placed the weapons and the newly created weapons and other goodies back into his spatial storage. Well, thinking. There was no way that he could compete physically with any of the monsters that were assaulting the mayor's residence. Lou had come to the conclusion that speed and confusion were the best tools for the job. That meant as little weight on his person as possible, which, thanks to his magical abilities, was extremely easy to achieve. He'd even the clothes on his body from the ones that, he'd been wearing the same outfit since he'd arrived, since shortly after he'd arrived on Sol. Man, the way Grammarly writes is blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Here we go. We are cruising along. 88, 551, 3741. Let's go. 3741, let's go. Think. Black, jean-like. Leather pants. Black. The medieval equivalent of a black t-shirt. Black knee-high boots, and a long black trench coat. Hybrid cloak trench coat piece. That all called the Night Stalkers. What was it called? Night Stalkers, Night Walker? Yeah, Night Stalkers. That were a part of a set called the Night Stalkers Ensemble. Lou had wanted to change his clothes since he'd begun to master his creation and spatial magics, but the bonuses that he received, the magical effects of the outfit couldn't be ignored. And he couldn't replicate them with his creation magic. Do 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 do. Let's keep it going. Here we go. Let's see how far we can get by noon. That's 43 minutes. 43 minutes, so let's go. Different angle on the camera today. I was trying different shit. We'll see how it goes. Okay. There was a brief day and a half day, or half a day, a day where he'd been dressed as a knockoff tuxedo mask, but had changed given the first opportunity. Though he kept the hat and mask, they offered him magical bonuses like the Night Stalker outfit. A quick thought pulled up both pieces information up in his mind's eye, and he glanced at them as he continued with his preparations. I have a description of this in the earlier books. I just have to find them. This one I don't, though. Yeah, I do, maybe. Tuxedo mask, that's it. Tuxedo mask and top hat. Information. So I'll have that put there, okay. He grunted as he closed the messages and shifted his creation of various close combat explosives and to making a I know, elephant gun. What is it called? What's the name of it? I believe, the Lottie L39. a latte L39, more commonly referred to as the Norsup BC. Norsup BC, or elephant gun. I know, Finn, it's funny. The weapon was created by a man named Aimo Latti, and for use as a anti-tank gun during for World War II. Hold on a second. What happened there? His first attempt had been a 13 millimeter design, but that had proved ineffective, so upgraded to a 20 millimeter design. And from single shot to semi-automatic. Basically, this proved much more effective and was more effective. Basically, the man created a giant semi-automatic machine gun that looked as if it had been made for giants. The weapon was universally loved by all firearm enthusiasts, and after World War II, it became a sought after addition, became a highly sought after rifle for big game hunting. Hence the elephant gun moniker. Lou always thought of the weapon, of the rifle, of the weapon, as a cross between, as a cross between a Barrett sniper rifle and a saw semi, what is it, saw? But much more barbaric and less and antique looking. As a bastard love child of a Barrett sniper rifle and a Barrett sniper rifle and a saw. Okay. He made a few personal adjustments as he created the large board rifle, fitting it more to his smaller stature as it appeared in his raised and outstretched arms, pointed directly at a flock of incoming monsters, incoming harpies. Lou knew they were harpies because they were half women, half raptor or other bird of prey, and by the message he'd just received. Harpies, powerful, who are they? And this will be fleshed out later. Cruising along, cruising along, cruising as long. Let's do a quick stretch. Stretch. Ooh. Woohoo. Half an hour to go. Let's grow. Let's go. Oh, 12 o'clock. It's coming soon. Okay. Here we go. We close the window with a thought and shouted one of his favorite movie quotes as he gently squeezed the trigger of the massive weapon. Say hello to my little friend. He even did the accent. A boom exploded. What can we use instead of exploded? Shattered the airspace for hundreds, for thousands of feet in all directions. The sonic power of the 20mm round, leaving the bore of the rifle so fast it broke the speed of sound. In Lou's previous life, he'd have had to been lying prone. He'd have had to have been lying prone with the lottie-dottie. We like stuff hottie. We don't cause trouble. Okay. With the lottie braced and supported. If he had any hope of hitting a target with it, and think holding it, that wasn't even mentioning the fact that he'd the idea of him holding it steady with his own strength to support it was more than laughable. It was insanity. The definition of insanity. $89,000. Here we go. 25 minutes to noon. Let's see if we can get to 90K by noon. That's 1,000 words in 25 minutes. I don't think that's gonna happen. Let me stretch. Oof. Okay, I need to stretch. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here we go. Think about it. We're gonna get 500 words at a minimum. Let's go. Right now, however, Lou was feeling more than a little red rum. He was full on in full on shining mode. The first sonic boom shocked the incoming harpies enough to halt their squawks and attempts to cast magic spells at him, while the 20mm round exploded the head of the lead harpy and the one Lou took to be the group, the flock's leader. He guessed, but they were rising in a V formation, and that harpy had been the one at the tip of the V, and also he'd guessed at his first he guessed that the first harpy he targeted was the boss, but they were rising in a V formation, and the harpy had been the one at the tip of the V, and also the largest and with the most color variation. As he pulled the trigger again and again and again, magically refilling his ammo when it got low, with the gun itself as the resource, the rifle only diminishing in size by the same mass as the bullets he was firing. Since he was even though Lou was the weakest of those that were living, that were with him at the place, he was still over 10 times stronger than he had been in his past life, and that was without the bonuses from the magical bonuses from his home, and that was without the magical bonuses. His home provided. That was all his own, his body's normal physical strength. He likened it as to comparing super athletes back athletes. Oh. The top 0.00001% of humanity that were its absolute physical peak specimens with a average everyday Joe Schmo. How do you spell Schmo? Oh yeah, I spelled it right. Look at me, I'm amazing. Okay. Alright, continuing along. 11:43, let's go. Oh no, music. How did I do that? Alright. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to the next page. 89-229. Cruising along. 17 minutes. How many words can we get in 17 minutes? Think about yourself playing basketball versus Michael Jordan, or tennis versus Nikola Djokovic, or soccer against Ronaldo. Insert example of super athlete here. You can even do it with intelligence. Compare yourself to Einstein, Feinstein, Hubble, Nietzsche, Jung. The list goes on. But at the end of the day, there is no comparison. These people, all of those people were superhuman, and that was Lunow. But he was even better. So, even standing on a wobbly kiteboard combined with a ultralight and firing a giant machine gun that looked like it was designed by a 6-year-old boy, he was able to keep his balance, steady the weapon, and hit his targets with extreme prejudice. The 6, now headless, harpies fell to the ground, one after another, as Lou sent his Lottie back to sent his Lottie back to his internal storage and continued his preparations. Two minutes later, he was close enough to make out specific details of the mayoral residence and the huge horde of monsters surrounding it and flooding inside. It was even worse than Lady Cecilia's message had said. Lou wasn't sure if, even if he succeeded and was able to find Lord Cerulean and his family, in killing all the monsters, that he would be able his family or any of his people. That's how many monsters there were, and it was like looking at a kicked over anthill from above. Lou was about Lou was having second thoughts about going down, even in his bloodthirsty state. A small part of his rational mind was in there, and it was telling him not to throw his life away for nothing. He took a deep breath and was about to turn his kiteboard when a series of flashes from the corner of his eye caught his attention. The sounds that followed caught it even more. $500 to go in 8 minutes. This is gonna be tough. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Let's go. Less than 1,000 words. Come on, man. Or 1,000 words plus. Let's go. Alright. Lightning. Ice. Fire. Earth. Earth. Fire. Wind. Water. And a plethora of other elemental. Attacks shot out from the center of the manor house. Exploding everywhere, like the around it, like a magical carpet bombing. When the blinding lights cleared enough for Lou to see the results, his shark-like smile was firmly back in place, and he there were survivors in the main residence. He'd just seen the evidence, and all thoughts of not trying to aid them fled his mind like dust in the wind. Lou pushed the speed lever harder forward and held it, willing his flying contraption faster. By fourths of thought, hoping he'd make it in time, The kiteboard sailed downward, closing the remaining 300 yards in less than 2 minutes. Giving Lou plenty of time to prepare, but also giving the same time to the enemy monsters. Lou's earlier battle had loudly announced his presence, and the rear of the monster horde was eagerly awaiting his arrival. Prepare for his assault on the enemy monsters. And they were eagerly awaiting his arrival. So Horde had turned and were watching him come like cats with a dangling mouse. Lou grinned at their obvious stupidity. Did they really think he'd just fly right into a army of powerful enemies? He implemented the first part of his plan as he was notified by as he reached the point that he judged close enough as he reached the what? That he'd deemed close enough to start. With Geronimo, he shouted, diving forward off his kiteboard platform and into the open sky. His Night Stalker's coat flaring up out behind him like a set of wings, which it kind of was, as that was one of its magical abilities. He didn't only, it wasn't the coat. He didn't gain the ability to actually fly, but the coat acted as a glider, like a hang glider of sorts, and allowed him a bit of maneuverability in the air and while gliding to his destination. Testetone. The monsters below him, a collection of so many horrid and evil looking bastards that Lou gave a silent prayer of thanks that he wasn't close enough to breathe in their putrid stink. He did get to watch, though, as his distraction worked. Every single monster watched him leap off the kiteboard, taking their eyes from his recently vacated means of transport and keeping them on him as he continued flying slowly forward, which was his plan. The kiteboard gently sailed down into the center of the horde of monsters. Hundreds of feet behind him. $12:06. Oh, I didn't make it. I got 100 and something more words to get to, but that's okay. We're an hour and a half. Not bad. Let's go. And was loaded with as many pounds of C4 he could put on it without toppling it over. The monsters went from gleeful to confused as they went to rip apart the flimsy flying vessel, only to disappear in a blinding flash of burning light and fire as the let's see. Let's see. How big of an explosion is 20 pounds of C4 create? Well, come on. C4. Blast estimation damage. TNT. Composite C4. Charge size 20. Range from munition to structure 1 meter. Calculate. Large window 283, 62. Fatal distance 3.6. Long damage 5.7. House complete. Houses require repairs. Let's see. Okay. Alright. We'll do 100. As the 100 pounds of explosive clay rearranged their physical bodies at the down to the atomic structure. Comma, only to disappear period. As Lou activated the trigger in his hands, the super heated air charged out from the blast, hitting him in the back and propelling him forward through the air at twice the speed to his manor house destination. Destinazione. Let's go. We about to hit 90K. 1 hour 35 minutes. No breaks. Let's just go. No breaks. 1 hour, 35:42. Let's go. Another effect of the explosion, besides wiping out hundreds of monsters, was the wave, the blast, the wave of force that the blast sent out that not only helped push Lou forward, but knocked down an equal number of monsters as it killed. Or injured the distance flew by under him so fast that it became a blur, and he ignored it, focusing his eyes in front of him, summoning a pair of goggles, his tuxedo mask for its magic, for its ability buffs, for its magical buffs, and its ability to act as glasses, blocking the wind streaming into Lou's eyes like as if he was being assaulted with a air cannon. And though he was sure he looked a fool, it didn't matter. The 10% increase to his vision and other abilities, and though he was sure he looked a fool, it didn't matter. The 10% increase to his vision, letting him see further than normal and in different spectrums, combined with the protection from the wind, was more than an equal trade-off. For 400-ish words to go. 500 words to go. Here we go. Let's go. To reverse the remaining 100 yards over the downed or shocked horde of monsters and the mental stop button on his coat, the magical outerwear flaring like a pair of wings and halting his forward movement as if he'd hit a wall of I'm so tired. Okay. Wow. 410 words. Okay, 410 to go. 410 to go. Stretch, stretch, stretch. 410 words to go. I'm so tired. People, I know it doesn't seem like it, but like, making shit up is mentally exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. This is why if you know somebody who lies, who's a liar, but they like work at McDonald's or work with you at a job, but they're always exhausted, they're always tired, it's because they're a fucking liar. And they get bad sleep, but they're a liar too. Takes a lot of time to make up lies. Not that this is lying, I'm just saying this is imagination, but other people. Ugh. Stretching. Okay. The magical coat somehow did away with the momentum that Lou had built up during his mad flight, and when he stopped, his body was rocked gently as if he was being held by his mother. Baby being held by his mother. Lou shoved the imagery away and set his mind back to bloodthirsty. His body dropping the last 10 feet in the air and going into a crouch as he hit by instinct. All right, let's go. Come on, finish it up. I gotta get this back. Okay. See if I can do a twist. Oof. Other way. Ooh. Okay. All right. Lou turned his crouch into a roll as he simultaneously accessed grenades from his spatial storage and tossed them out as he traversed the ground in a his ball like grenade after grenade flew out from him like seemingly at random, but each explosive flying into a different grouping of monsters. Unlike previous grenades, Lou hadn't exclusively made smoke and concussion versions. This time he made the and flashbang versions. This time he made the OG original classic ones. Those that started it all. Thanks, G-Force. Boom after boom and exploding boom after exploding boom, followed by screams of dead and dying, dead, dying, injured, dying, dead, injured, or dying monsters filled the manor house and its surroundings like a morbid metal rock concert where all the bands were talentless hacks who could only try to out-scream each other. It was music to Lou's ears, and he hummed the version he heard in his mind as he continued the popped up from his roll and continued his mad dash through the gauntlet of enemies. Oh snap, 200, let's go, 189, come on, 189, we almost there, Lou used his creation magic, and a moment later, what was that? Taurus, yeah. Let me see. Think. Taurus Judge. Raging Hunter. I think we'll go... Wait. Single action. Where is Taurus Judge? 45, Magnum. Here, you want to see what I'm looking at? This is what I'm looking at. Alright, let's go to next page. Aha! No, let's do executive grade. It's this one. Ooh, those are dope. What's bigger? 357 or 45? Yeah, of course. 44. Yeah, 44 Magnum. There we go. Here we go. Raging Hunter. Aha! That's dope. Okay. We're gonna go with the Raging Hunter 44 mag in black. Two-tone. That's pretty dope too. Man, that's pretty cool. I'm not hitting my goal now. .44 Magnum Raging Hunter in matte black appeared and appeared in his left hand while his right continued to create grenade and toss grenade after grenade in his wake. Lou came up to the rear entrance of the manor house, one he was quite familiar with, as it led to the kitchens, and he had spent much of his time there when living with the mayor and his family. Currently, he had gotten to know the kitchen workers and the chefs, the cooks and chefs who ran them. Chef Pierre and sous chef, whatever his name was, French guy, sous chef Jean-Paul Clark, Jean-Paul maybe? Sous chef Jean-Claude, I forgot his name. Had even become friends to Lou. Those same people had not only welcomed him, a complete stranger, but his companions, who weren't even human. A griffin, a dire wolf, and a bonobo beast boy were not normal house guests. The fact that human there. These things hadn't mattered to the Ceruleans and their people. And here Lou was. Wait. Lou believed in turning the cheek, and that also included helping those who helped you tenfold. That was the main reason why his anger spiked into heretofore realms that Lou had never been before. The bodies of the kitchen workers were tossed about the kitchen like broken, like bloody and and broken humanoid dolls. Hey son, I am done. 12:37. What is up? How did we do? 90,000. Oh, look at that. 90,565 on the nose. 12:37. 2 hours 55 minutes. Not bad. That's take away the 5 or 6 minutes of talking, 7 minutes of talking at the beginning. Solid. Okay, let's do a quick save. Boom. Tomorrow, word count 2,500 more words. We'll hit we'll hit, and those are some fucking cool ass guns. We'll hit 93,000 boys and gals. Let's head up for YouTube first. Let's check how we doing in the studio. Had some viewers. Thank you for watching. No chats. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, boom. Let's check the Twitches. Got a viewer. Thank you, brother, sister, whoever. I think it's 13 maybe. I don't know. I forgot who it is, but thank you. Vengeance, I forgot. But thank you so much, man. Everybody, thank you for watching. Kick. Let's do it. All right. Twitch. Kick. Thank you so much. Fusium 900, I told you earlier. Thank you for following. IBDVUJ, thank you for following. Henry Noah 643, thank you for following. And Will Braham, thank you for following. I just broke 90,565. Woo! We're gonna be done with this book soon. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I have to get ready for this podcast, which will be back on shortly. Doesn't look like there's any questions, doesn't look like anything. So anyway, I will be back. Bong, bong, bong. Deuces. And stream. Oh, if you haven't, buy my books. I'm Gamer, From Chef to Crafter Conqueror, and more on Amazon. RATHWEG, Gabriel Rathweg, Amazon.com. And follow me on all the things. You know, X, Instagram, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Links in the bios. And don't follow me on X. I talk so much shit on X. Alright. Be back in shortly for the next podcast.